Le Chameau, proudly sponsors On the Bank.
Well, here we are, the big one, the final of the British Carp Angling Championships. A new venue, a fantastic lineup, and £20,000 up for grabs for the winner.
10 seconds of this match left. We are with our current leaders, Wayne Mansford and Ryan Need. Are they going to do it? It's time for that all-important hooter. Yes! Champions, Wayne Mansford and Ryan Need.
I mean, I don't know about Wayne's feeling, but for me, I do feel a bit of extra pressure. We're defending, we're champions at the moment, and you know, it is a bit of weight on my shoulders, but I'm willing to carry it and get on with it.
Are you as hungry now this year as you were last year?
I'd say for
me
me personally, yeah. More so because you know the history. This is where we met like 19 years ago, and to win it on my home turf and a place that I'm so passionate about, and a place I call home. For me, it'd mean more probably than last year.
What would it mean to win it?
Yeah, it would mean so much to both of us, mate.
Yeah,
as a team, we've been doing it now for 12 years.
12 years. Yeah.
We've just been a bit unfortunate in some of the draws. Like that's the chances you take in the matches. But yeah, that would proper. I'd love it.
So this is it, the big one, once again, and you guys are here again.
Yeah, it's nice to be here. Like, we can't grumble. We've had 2 firsts and a third in the last 3 years, so whoever wins it from here is going to be, they're going to more than deserve it. And yeah, we're just going to have another good weekend, hopefully.
It's not about the prize money or anything
Definitely
like that.
not.
It's the title.
We respect all and fear nobody. That's our motto, isn't it?
Everyone that's in the final has worked hard and proved themselves to get here. And if the fish rock up into their swim, they can all do it.
So this is it, the draw for the 2019 British Carp Angling Championships final down here at Farlows. It works on and out of the bag basis, so the first name to be drawn out will come up and we'll pull their peg number. So Simeon Bond and Mark Hutchinson there just coming up now. He will take a canister from the second pot and this will designate where he's going to fish. So number 13. Having drawn the number out, what they then do is pull the next canister out of the bag, which has a name in it, and this will be
Billy Flowers and Jamie Londers.
England internationals, Billy Flowers and Jamie Londers. Billy Flowers there coming up. Been in the final many times, and they have pulled
Peg number 9.
peg number 9.
Wayne Mansford and Ryan Need.
Wayne Mansford and Ryan Need now are defending champions. And they draw
Peg 17.
peg number 17. There's 4 pegs in total that anglers will really be hoping to get, and that is one of them. These guys are going to be very, very dangerous from there. And that's it, they're off. The start of the British Carp Angling Championships Finals 2019. We are with Wayne Mansford and Ryan Need. Peg 17, the corner of the point. For those of you that know Farlows Lake, and he's starting off in the open water on a PVA bag. Pop that out to a spot in open water about 50 odd yards out. Just going to let the line settle and straight away reaching for the second one, and we're going to see an awful lot of PVA bag fishing through the course of this weekend. This one looks like it's going to go tighter to the island. His right-hand rod towards those trees. Just off the edge of the island. Is he going to be happy with that one? I normally see Wayne cast a little bit tighter and he's not happy. He's going to bring it back in again. He'll have another rig ready to go straight away, putting it into that cove just off the island there. And as with any fishing, but particularly here at Farlows, you've got to be absolutely on the money. Accuracy is the key. Peg one now, Nick Davies and Ches Bowen. Nick, of course, the manager of the Welsh international side. PVA bag going out into the open water. He'll have found a mark out there. What they're searching for is gravel spots underneath the surface of the water. He'll have found one during the plumbing and baiting up, and he's happy where that's landed. You can just see him dipping the tip, pulling the line to one side just to tighten it up, sink it below the surface and get that rod settled and ready to go. So first bite of the tournament now, and that is peg 6, England internationals Billy Flowers and Jamie Londers. Billy's on the rod, and it looks from where we are that it's come from their left hand set, or the right hand side of the peg as we look at it from here. Once again an island cast, and they're fishing quite tight up against the feature. Not usually a fancy peg, that one, but there have been a few fish in front of it over the last few weeks, and this is teamwork in action. And the fish just move around to the left hand side or his right as we're looking at the picture. It's kiting around the corner. And Jamie there has got a catapult in hand. He's just picking a few rocks up just to try and scare that fish back in again. He's on the landing net. It's there. It's in right on the edge of the net. Is he going to get it? There's a bit of weed there as well, but they've got it. That is the first fish of BCAC 2019. Billy Flowers, Jamie Londers, peg 6. And here it is, the first fish of the competition so far. Decent looking common, looks like it's going to be around or possibly just under the 20 pound mark, maybe 18 odd. And the marshal's just putting it into the waistling. That's been zeroed and it will be hoisted onto the scales now and the weight checked. The winner of the British Carp Angling Championships will be the pair with the greatest combined weight over the course of the weekend. There it is. Oh, that's a bit bigger than we thought it was. 23.5 odd pounds. Scalesman will confirm exactly. And it is 23 pounds 8 ounces, 23.5. That's a really, really good start there for Billy Flowers and Jamie Londers. Well, lads, fish on the bank already. That's a great start from what is seemingly not a fancy peg.
We're fairly happy with our draw. We had a funny bite on another rod as well, so it's looking promising.
What's the plan then? Bags tight to the islands?
Yeah, pretty much. So, like, from what we've heard the last few weeks, as Jay says, been fishing well, pretty much like anywhere sort of around the islands, and people that are not really putting bait in, just fishing solids. But obviously the key is just getting them ultra tight, so hopefully it goes all right throughout the weekend.
Peg number 14 now, and this is the former champions Kev Hewitt and Mark Bartlett. They've won this event twice, both former England internationals, very, very successful, and also, I will say, feared anglers throughout the general angling world as well. Kev, incredibly successful. Mark also turns his hand to match fishing now and again. He won the Durley Festival recently off the box with a swim feeder, so he's a dab hand at all sorts of angling. And this was a really unfancied peg. It's an area known as Pike Alley. Normally an area that does well in the summer, but not that good at this time of year, and this is a good fish. 21 pounds 10 ounces, decent average size in here at the moment. They'll be happy with that one. On the board from an area they didn't think there was going to be many fish in, and there's one or two around at the moment. Well, lads, fish on the bank, and it wasn't really a favoured area, was it?
No, everyone that we spoke to said it's not very good up here. People that have fished it, our good mates, have fished it in the past in matches and never really caught a lot. So we've seen a couple of fish about, we've had one, we don't know, we're in unknown territory, we don't know the lake, so we'll just keep plugging away and seeing if we can nick a few more fish. Weather's doing you a favour though, it is known as a summer area rather than a winter area, and we're just on the cusp, but it's getting quite warm again.
Yeah, it's supposed to be nice all weekend. Hopefully, so a few fish get down there. We have seen a couple like drifting in and out. You just got to keep going, just it's a step at a time, and we're on the board, that's the main thing.
So what's the game plan? You've had one on a bag down the edge, presumably?
No, over a bit of bait, over a bit of boilie, just out on a nice little spot I'd found. And we're going to have a good go at floater fishing We've been trickling them out. We haven't got anything taken at the moment, but I'm confident that at some point, I can't see him not having a bit of a chew off the top at some point towards the evening, I would think.
And that didn't take too long at all. It's not off the top though, it's off the spot on the bottom where they've already had the bite, and Mark Bartlett is currently on the rod there. Just the lightest of bites, 2 single bleeps. And this is going to cause a ripple of shock around the field here at Farlows, because everybody thought that Pike Alley, peg 14, was not really going to be in the game, but this weather has changed. The sun is out, it's hot, there is less pressure down here, and the fish do like this area in warm conditions. Kev's on the net, and it's in at the first time of asking. Fish number 2, Bartlett and Hewitt.
Le Chameau proudly sponsors On the Bank.
Well, that's a great start for these two, and that second fish puts these well and truly in the lead. £19 11 ounces, fish number 2. So peg 17 now, Wayne Mansford and Ryan Need. Obviously, by the look of them, enjoying quite a nice evening in the Farlows sunshine here, shirts off, as they play a fish in the evening sun. They've not got one on the scoreboard yet. They've had a couple of near misses with a couple of pickups, but there's 1 or 2 obstacles out in front of them. Fishing very, very tight to that island's a little bit testing, but it looks like they've got this one under control. And this will be a nerve settler for them. Very, very, very serious competitors, these two. Crucial times now. Wayne at the very extent of the landing net. It's in, but it's back out again. Just got to watch that bit of weed in front of him. It's not in yet. Very, very bright conditions here. It's directly in the line of weed, but he's got it. It's in, and it looks a decent fish. Well, what can you say? While the bait was going in the water, they've actually had a bite, and that doesn't normally happen here, I've got to say, but absolutely bang on it these boys are. If ever you give them the opportunity of a fish, they will be on it like a shot. And they're well and truly firing on all cylinders. They've had 5 bites in total. They've had 2 fish landed in the last hour. This will be another one, and if they land this, it will put them up towards the top of the pile. We reckon, even though these fish haven't been weighed yet, we reckon that they are currently in 2nd position, and if they land this one, depending on its size, it may well put them into 1st position. And would you believe what a battle this is proving to be at the moment? We have the defending champions that look like they're going to take the lead. In 2nd place, we have the 2 times champions that were champions before these two, Mark Bartlett and Kev Hewitt. Again, they have fish in front of them as well. They took the early lead. Wayne Mansford and Ryan Need hitting back, and it is going to be a battle between the England internationals, the former England internationals, the reigning champions and the former champions. What a fantastic event this is here at Farlows. Their 3rd fish in the last hour. Landing net ready. It's clearly well hooked. Coming a little bit closer, that fish is now up on the surface there, looks a decent fish again. This is the one that could put them towards the top of the pile, just coming over that net cord. Is it there? It's in, and that's it. You can hear the cheer from the crowd, they appreciate that. A great display of angling from these guys. So here we have the last fish of this recent flurry of activity for Wayne Mansford and Ryan Need. Already they have fish on the scoreboard, 3 of them in total, £62, 14 ounces will be their weight. 3 fish puts them into first place. This one just galvanises their position at the front and gives them just that little bit of breathing space ahead of the only other team in the competition at the moment that have caught 3 fish, that being Hewitt and Mark Bartlett. It's just given a little treatment, bit of antiseptic on the mouth to make sure that it's protected nicely before it goes back into the sling to be weighed. Of course, for the non-anglers watching this, you sports fans out there will see that we catch quite a lot of fish in this competition. They're all treated very nicely, held in these little unhooking mats so they don't damage themselves on the hard ground. They're given a once-over, like a dental check, before they're weighed, a photograph's taken and they're put back into the lake. Some of these fish can be 40, even 50 years old, and it shows the angling procedure causes them no harm whatsoever. But at the moment it's all eyes on the scale, £62 already recorded. £28 waiting for the ounces. Crucial that it's done properly. £28.4 is the weight that's called and approved by marshal number 2. Runner will agree that as well. So that totals £91, 2 ounces. Great start for these boys. Well, the day's drawing to a close here at Farlows, and what an absolutely incredible day it has been. 18 fish caught so far. Not exactly sure, but I think that could well be a record for the opening day on a British Carp Angling Championships final. And they've come from all over. At the beginning of the day, it was each end of the lake that were proven to be the hot spots. The fish had backed away from the pressure. They'd gone in the shallower water where it's a bit quiet in the Pads Bay, and fish started coming from there and also from the opposite end. But they've started to move, and when they move towards the middle of the lake, there are some very, very good anglers waiting for them. Let's just have a look at the scores going into the end of day 1. Top 10 looks a little bit like this, but of course it's the top 3 places that we are looking for, and all of those 3 places are taken with England internationals. In third place, it's Sean Dolson and Lee Sims, peg 6, 2 fish for 34.05. Second place, Mark Bartlett and Kev Hewitt, the previous champions, the back-to-back champions from 2017 and 2016. Peg 14 is their home. They've had 3 fish for 58.08. But the leaders at the moment, it's the defending champions, and what an incredible display of angling we've seen from them. They got off to a faltering start. They lost a couple of fish on a trailing line. They solved the problem, and they have just gone from strength to strength since then. 5 fish in total, £107, 5 ounces already, with only 8 hours on the clock. If I was to say to you that we were predicting 200 to 220 pounds as a finishing weight at the end of 48 hours, that would be a great weekend's angling. But my word, these boys are on fire. The big question now is, firstly, will it continue? And secondly, can anybody catch them? 8 o'clock in the morning now, Saturday, and my word, it was an interesting night last night. The action did slow down a little bit, but not as much as we thought it would. 10 fish caught throughout the night, but guess who are the regular faces that continue to catch fish? Yes, it's the early leaders, and this morning there was a flurry of activity right at first light. Fishing up against islands in the dark, it's a tricky pastime, but as soon as the light got good enough for them to cast out towards those trees, they were on it like a shot, and the fish came straight away. Yes, Wayne Mansford and Ryan Need are still in the lead. Straight into action, and on the left-hand side of them, Nick Davis and Ches Bowen, they started catching fish. And it's getting quite clear now that Wayne and Ryan are starting to dominate this event. 9 fish at the 8 o'clock score sheet. That gives them a total of £181, 2 ounces. Mark Bartlett and Kev Hewitt, 1 fish through the night, puts them in second on 74.10. A fish at first light for Billy Flowers and Jamie Londers. 3 fish now, 59.11. And then the fourth England pairing of Sean Dawson and Lee Sims. 3 fish for them, 51.15. Liam Hodges and Jordan Smith, 2 fish. After that, just the individual fish around the lake. But there are fish to be caught, and we know here that the day is very, very productive. Wayne and Ryan around the islands, they're holding court at the moment. Can anybody catch them? Game on now, peg 1. Another fish on, not really sure what it is. Could be a carp, could be a bream, could be a tench. It's on its way in. Nick's just said he thinks it might well be a tench. It is another bream, no score. Meanwhile, in peg 17, it's definitely not a bream, and this is big news for the boys because it's come from the left-hand rod set, and this means that not only is the island rod working, but the open water rod is working too, and this looks a decent fish. Another of Farlows, absolutely fantastic scaly fish coming in. It's certainly over 20. That's a decent carp, and the bigger fish do tend to like the open water. Good result, boys, in the net there, and what an absolutely cracking fish that is. Well, gents, we finally get to catch up with you. It was a bit tricky yesterday. You were catching a lot of fish, and you've had another run this morning. It's going all right, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's going good. But just rolling with it. Just keep doing what we're doing. Nothing stupid. Just keep it nice. Just keep steady.
Wayne, you know this venue well. You practice down here, obviously, quite a lot as well in readiness for this, and it's clear you've got a very good spot on the island. What's the key to fishing tight like that?
Just accuracy. I think that's been a big difference this weekend. Ryan's spomming, well, you've seen it yourself, it's been unreal. His performance has been outstanding, and I think that's the difference between us and the others at the minute.
Now, you weren't overly happy with the draw to begin with. You must surely be slightly happier now.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Yeah.
We've just got to keep doing what we're doing. Hopefully we can carry on ticking over. I'd like to think we can stay out in front, but it's still anybody's game. You know, these anglers here, they're all great anglers, and if the fish land on them like they have on us, then it can all change.
Le Chameau proudly sponsors On the Bank.
Well, it's the halfway stage in the match now, and as you can see, the sun is out. It's blazing down. It's a really hot day here at Farlows, and it's been a very interesting morning. Not at the front of the pack, of course. Wayne and Ryan, they're just carrying on consistently and steadily catching fish. And at the halfway stage, they've got a very, very impressive lead. But let's have a look at the battle for second, third and fourth. In second place, it was Mark Bartlett and Kev Hewitt. Then it was Billy Flowers and Jamie Londers, followed by Sean Dawson and Lee Sims. But Sean and Lee have had a really, really decent common partway through the morning, and that's rocketed them from fourth up to second, and everyone else drops down one. It's still England in the top 4. Where will they end up? Well, who knows, but it's now proving to be a really interesting battle between second, third and fourth. The podium places are still well open because second place, you know what, it's not a massive weight. First place, we can start to think now that if they carry on, their run rate's a little bit too quick, they've got a big advantage, they've got their peg rocking, everyone else is going to be playing catch up. But of course, there is a second and third place to play for. There's money for grabs, there's honour for grabs, and there are still a lot of people in the race. And this is how the scoreboard looks. Mansford and Need, 11 fish now, 229.03. Dawson and Sims, 4 fish, 78, with Bartlett Hewitt dropping to third place with 74.10. Very, very narrow margin. But let's look at fourth place, Billy Flowers and Jamie Londers, 59.11, 120 pounder. Well, that puts them straight up to second place. Everyone else, just 1 or 2 fish, but still all to play for. So opposite end of the lake now, this is peg 6. Sean Dawson and Lee Sims, big open water area in front of them, and there's 1 or 2 fish that have moved out of the Pads Bay, which is directly opposite. They've come into this open water and they're short in front of them. That they've got a little bit of a tricky one at the moment, because the water here is between 12 and 13 feet deep, and the fish do seem to be up in the water towards the surface. And the plan is they've just had a recast with a bag and a little bit of liquid in that to try and pull those fish down. Well, you thought there was a chance of a fish you've got when you're now in second place.
Yeah, 26 pound common. We've seen fish showing short, so we just fished for them where they were and they pulled off.
Are they still around?
Not as many as there was, but still hope. Still hope for the dinner time. As I said, we had a few fish on the shallow spot yesterday, so hopefully they'll move back in.
There's a bit of a scrap developing now, isn't there, for second, third and fourth at the moment? You're well and truly in the frame.
Yeah, all England team members, yeah.
Yeah, we'll stay at it. We'll stay at it. Hopefully they'll move back in, as I say.
Peg 2 now, and Scott Beasley and Matt Eaton coming into the game now at this stage. They're in 6th place at the moment. This may challenge for 5th place. And here it is, moment of truth. The fish is just put onto the scales there. Let's have a look what it is. Decent fish. £21.9. £21.9. That will challenge 5th position. It's your first time in the final, isn't it? How are you finding it?
Yeah, no, so it's okay. You just got to take your own fishing to wherever you go, and hopefully it works. Really?
How do you feel with the pressure on an event like this?
The pressure is huge, obviously being our first final. It's quite uncomfortable. We don't know the water as well as quite a lot of the guys. So, you know, when you draw a peg that we know is a favoured peg, yeah, the pressure becomes a bit intense.
There's lots of people cheering at home as well for you.
Yeah, there is. There's a good support from work colleagues and everyone else, to be fair.
I've got to say, it's just absolute chaos going on around the lake at the moment. As you can see, there's a fish being weighed over there. If you look behind over my shoulder, Ryan's playing a fish. Wayne's just cast out. Mark and Kev down the bottom end. Dave caught one, and we're hearing that Terry and Jay have just had a big fish over there. It's all kicking off here at Farlows. It's day 2 in the British Carp Angling Championships final, and my word, is this exciting. Well, Terry, bit of a spurt of activity there now, and that looks like it's putting you up to 3rd place.
Yeah, it's there's not been a lot happening really, to be honest with you. It's only sort of this afternoon that we've sort of seen a few fish now. They are coming out of nothing, the bites really. We are just sort of like changing spots around. We've just found another clear area into the weed, and then as you've sort of seen before, there's a couple of fish on top now that we're chasing, but yeah, still nothing really to go on, but we're still pushing.
Well, look, 1st place is a big ask, but actually, you know, the 2nd and 3rd is still an honourable place to be.
Yeah, of course it is, mate. Yeah, I mean, everybody that knows us, we don't take things too seriously. We do like to have a bit of a giggle and that, but we're still serious about what we're trying to do here. We love the BTAC, we love the event. So yeah, we're just going to keep plugging along as best we can, and try and get Wayne and Ryan. We're coming for you, but we won't do.
So back with Kev Hewitt, Mark Bartlett now, and they've got a fish on, but unfortunately it's gone into the tree to their left-hand side. It's on Mark's spot, but Kev's on the rod at the moment. Mark is currently up the tree with a landing net. Completely within the rules. There's just a little bit of pruning going on there, so he can make his way in to try and net the fish in the tree as opposed to outside of the tree. And it's a bit unorthodox, but all adds to the excitement. The lads currently sitting in second place by a comfortable-ish margin, but there are one or two teams behind them that are starting to catch fish now. And it's just dropping to evening on the end of day 2 here at Farlows. Kev just putting a little bit more pressure on the fish, and it's definitely still on. They've seen it, they've said it's there. And that's it, it's in the net. Mark has actually managed to net the fish from the tree, and this is gorilla carp fishing at its very best. Would you believe it? So evening time now, and it is the end of day 2 at the British Carp Champs, and what an incredible event it's been. I've got the event organiser with me, Dave Bollow. Dave, firstly, let me shake your hand. What an event this has been. Farlows, incredible venue, isn't it?
Absolutely amazing. I mean, it started off yesterday, 10 pairs caught by the end of yesterday out of 17. As an event organiser, you just want everyone to feel they've got a chance. We had fish from all the corners, deep water, shallows, margins, pucker. And then today, well, it's just kicked on even better.
Absolutely, and there have been 61 fish caught so far. We've also seen a record broken, the biggest weight of fish caught in a finals. Who's caught it? Well, who do you think? It's Wayne, Mansford and Ryan, our defending champions. Now, you see them all the way through the course of the year, and this isn't a one-off, is it? It happens quite a lot with these guys.
Oh, they're also, I mean, two years ago, they beat the record on a B1 for most fish caught, biggest weight, £2,000 plus.
Yeah. Just repeat that, £2,000 plus in one 48-hour event. That is incredible endurance, isn't it?
This year they basically qualified and then had a social for a few hours because they had so many people going down to see them, and qualified quite easily. It's been building to this point. Last year, obviously, champions, they got in a swim they didn't like, and they worked their socks off to take home the best, biggest crown and the thing they've been working for years, and they're doing the same again.
Absolutely.
They're just machines.
Back-to-back wins, you know, what an absolutely incredible display. You've seen it throughout the course of this programme so far. Their accuracy, their attention to detail, just quite frankly how damn good they are.
Incredible.
If this was football, we'd be watching the likes of Messi.
Oh, they're world class.
Playing an absolutely fantastic game.
World class.
Let's talk about the rest of the field as well, because we've got our former champions, and they're back-to-back champions as well. They're no slouches. Would you believe it? In second place, Mark Bartlett and Kev Hewitt. Again, you know, Wayne and Ryan, if they win this, which it looks like they might do, they've had 3 podiums in the last 3 years, 2 firsts and a second. Mark and Kev, they had a 3rd last year, but they had 2 firsts the year before. They're going to be on the podium again. That's 4 podiums in 4 years.
And probably out of one of the more unfancied swims.
Absolutely.
In this weekend.
Really is an incredible display. They are the 2 pairs that are running away at the front, but you know what, 3rd place, it's still on a podium. It's worth getting, and there is a monumental battle going on. So that's it. What will the darkness hold? Well, there'll be a fish or 2 out, but things always naturally calm down. But you can bet your life that tomorrow there's going to be a battle. There'll be a battle between all those teams that are battling for 3rd place. There will be a big push from Kev and Bart. Remember, they don't get morning bites usually, but they will want to secure 2nd place. And will these guys give up? No. Never in a million years. Never in a million years. Get ready for a big display in the morning.
Le Chameau proudly sponsors On the Bank.
So, first light, last morning, peg 14. They've put 5 fish already on the score sheet. Is this going to be a case of a last minute charge? Could the impossible and unthinkable become possible? I know one thing, these boys will never ever give up. A decent fish there, it looks like a good one. Big lump of weed in there as well, but it's action stations now. They have got 4 hours left. Just look at this. This is one of the Farlows originals. It's a bit of a character fish. It's got a big old injury down its back, but what a lump of a creature that is. £36 1 ounce is the biggest fish of the competition so far. Absolute tank of a creature, that one. Real character fish. Well, it's been a really hectic morning since first light, and we're coming now at the 8 o'clock score sheet time. And just look behind me, normal service in Wayne and Ryan's swim. They are catching fish, but we're also getting reports at Main HQ that Kev and Bart are playing fish too. And also we're hearing reports that Liam Hodges and Jordan Smith are playing fish as well. Now, if Liam and Jordan catch one that's bigger than £22, they can jump back up into third place. They've held it before, they've dropped back, and it's that third place slot that really now is the one everybody is battling for. I'm going to stand by it and say that I think these guys have almost certainly got first place. If they weren't catching anything today, then Kevin Bart could possibly catch up. But Kevin Bart have had a brilliant run, but not quite enough to overtake first place. I can't see anybody touching second, so the big question now is who is going to be third, and there are a number of teams in the race. We've got Sean Dawson and Lee Sims, England international, currently holding that slot at £112 4 ounces. Jay Gutteridge and Terry Donaldson on the factory bank. They've had some decent fish up there, not many, but they're on £91 12 ounces. Liam Hodges and Jordan Smith, now they are well and truly in the game, and they're playing one as we speak now. It needs to be 22 and it will jump them up there. There's also the other England internationals, Billy Flowers and Jamie Londers. They're currently on £77. One fish will take them from 6th place all the way up to 3rd as well. So there is absolutely all to play for. And you know what? There's 3 or 4 teams just below them that 2 fish, they can come into the mix as well. There's a lot to play for here down at Farlows, and there are still 4 hours left. Peg number 15 now. This is the fish that could make the difference. It needs to be £21 13 ounces to take 3rd place. It doesn't look like it's going to get up there, but it's been a very, very quick bite after a recast for Jordan Smith and Liam Hodges. Let's just check. It's not got there. It's £14. So it's going to fall short, but it puts them literally within touching distance of 3rd place now. Oh, it's getting tight now, Liam.
Extremely tight, yeah. Extremely tight. One fish in it, isn't it? £4, £4, £5.
That was quite a quick bite for you as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, 5 minutes rod was like that. And they come in about this time yesterday, so hopefully we get a couple more chances.
How many did you pick up yesterday in the morning?
We had one bite yesterday morning,
morning.
3 fish yesterday afternoon, lost one yesterday evening. So
yeah, well, we've not got an afternoon now, have we? It's morning time, and that's it. So.
We had one chance yesterday about 10 o'clock, so hopefully we get one more chance with a bit of luck and put us into 3rd.
So you've got Sean and Lee just ahead of you. You've got a number of people just biting your heels just behind you as well. What is going to be your game plan now?
Just fish for a bite. Just keep fishing how we are. Keep recasting every couple of hours. Just fishing for a bite, fishing against the trees. So if they come in, when the sun comes up, hopefully we get a couple more bites.
Well, Ryan, just a little quiet moment. I managed to grab you just to one side for a moment, and I just want to talk about working the swim, because there's going to be guys that will watch this from home and they're seeing how well you're doing, but it isn't just a case of having one spot going, is it? You've got a full swim in front of you and you're working it in a very, very clever way.
Yeah, when we come into the swim, as you can see, we've got a lot of open water on an island, and over on the far margin there's a little bay. I don't know if you can see behind me, but I went over there before the match started, had a little look, clipped the rod up to it, just so we've got somewhere to go if need be, but don't want to go straight into the kill zone, if you like, straight away. So we just fished up against the island, just let the fish get happy, left that sanctuary for them, and it seems to have worked. We're not killing the swim straight away. We've always got somewhere to go if need be.
It's clever for a number of reasons, because you can easily exhaust a spot if you kick it too much, can't you? And you're not giving them a sanctuary to go to, and they could back off and go to someone else, which is the worst case for you, because your competitors are going to get them. So you've left a home for them to go to. At this level, everybody can fish, everybody's good, everybody's pretty efficient, everybody's got the right rigs and the right tactics and all these other bits and bobs, but it's being clever and understanding how the carp work that makes a big difference.
Yeah, and as well, a lot of it is, sounds blasé, but experience, and you only get experience through doing the wrong thing. Yeah. And you know, me and Wayne have been in the game a long time, and you know, every match you learn, you're always learning, and you're taking it to the next one. And it's just, you see how things roll as well when you keep your eye on matches, even if you're not in it, you're just keeping your eye on it. You can see where the numbers are, be the pegs, and how people have fished, and how someone else has determined what someone else is going to catch. And this is kind of what's happened here. It's match fishing.
It's the dying stages of the competition now, and in a little over 1 hour's time, somebody will be lifting this trophy. And we know exactly who that's going to be. They've showed their class all the way through this event, and it's been an amazingly impressive display. And over the years, some amazing names have found their way onto the Hall of Fame. The British Carp Angling Championships. We've seen Mark Bartlett and Kev Hewitt in 2016. They repeated it again in 2017. Back-to-back winners. An incredible feat to do that. And then we're going to see it again this year. They won last year at Raysbury. They've done it again this year. The new champions will be Wayne Mansford and Ryan Need. Well, Wayne, Ryan's playing one at the moment. I'm just going to grab you. It's a very, very quick opportunity for us to have a quick word. It's been an absolute blinder, isn't it?
Yes. I didn't see this happening on Friday after the draw, I've got to admit, but I think Lady Luck's been on our side this weekend, and yeah, it's all come good.
When do you actually take your foot off the gas?
We're not. No, we wanted to set. We spoke during the week, and we had a good practice session, as you know, and we spoke about the records. So that was in the back of our minds. But now we've set ourselves another target today. We want to get to £750. Until that final hook goes today, I'll still be nervous, anxious. But it's a little bit of a different feeling to last year. Obviously we have got a nice buffer, but we won't take our foot off the gas.
So this is it, dying seconds of the competition now as we see history made. It's back-to-back wins for these two. The smiles are on their faces, they know they've got it. That's it, it is the end of the Carp Champs. Big cheers from the crowd, back-to-back champions.
Setting a new BCAC final weights record, 35 fish, 755 pounds 5 ounces, Wayne Mansford and Ryan Need.
And this is it, the final scoreboard with Wayne Mansford and Ryan Need, 35 fish, 755.05, complete dominance. Mark Bartlett and Kev Hewitt second, 18 for 380.05 from an area that we didn't think would produce. Sean Dawson and Lee Sims, 7 fish for 139.05. They make up the final podium place, but just look how close it was after that. 91.12, 77, 67.08, 67.06 and 59.06. Any of those could have made it onto the podium. Well, that's it from us at Farlows and another fantastic British Carp Angling Championships. It's done history in the making, and you know what? I couldn't think of more worthy champions. We'll see you next time.
Le Chemin proudly sponsors On the Bank.
Well, thank you ever so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed what you've seen. If you want to see more from me and my pals, of course, there is loads of it. But the first thing you've got to do is get down there, see that big red button, subscribe to us, and at the same time, please do give us a thumbs up. In the meantime, loads and loads of films over there. So get watching. We'll see you in the next one.